Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, or you find a way to lose, or you can find yourself getting knocked out if you don't put some respect on Crawford's name. And you'll hold your horses, and let's not take it to the stupid. Jaron Boots Ennis, an amazing talent, an amazing fighter, a fighter who's super cocky and believes in his skills and knows what he brings to the ring, can be kryptonite for all these so-called supermens. Hey, yo, hold your horses, Jaron Boots Ennis. Nobody has an issue with you having supreme confidence. I believe your self-esteem, your self-efficacy should be through the roof. But you still gotta give your opponent some credit, man. Don't come out here, beat a Venetian like you did, and not say nothing good about the man. Because I'm going to tell y'all this. A Venetian put the Armenian bing-bings on Boots. He just didn't have the Armenian power like small Vic Darchinian, like Arthur Abraham. But he had the heart, he had the will to get in the ring and stand up to Jaron Boots Ennis, Mr. Catch a Body, who didn't really catch anybody in that ring this past weekend. Now, about Terrence Crawford. Oh, I know they got some Terrence Crawford fans out there. I can't even say, you can't even compliment Terrence Crawford, man. Crawford's a good fighter. What you mean good fighter? No, Crawford's not a good fighter. Crawford is the best. Crawford is the GOAT. Crawford. Hey, yo, hold your horses, Crawford fans. Jesus Christ. About to say something nice about Crawford. Now, when Crawford gets in the ring, no matter what happens, Crawford shows respect to his opponent. And if the opponent was doing something good, Crawford will tell you, yeah, he had a nice jab, you know. He was a little tricky. Crawford's not gonna come out there and all of a sudden lose his gag reflex now, but he'll give respect where respect is due. And I truly believe Crawford respects all of his opponents before he gets in the ring with them. I truly believe that he respects every single opponent. You can see how he talks before the fight. You can see how his training camps are ran. You can see how his coaches do film study. Everything about Crawford tells me he's the consummate professional who's not just in the ring solely reliant on his IQ, his experience, his skill set, his athleticism, his power. No, he relies on all of that, plus having the intelligence and his team having the intelligence to say, you know what? In boxing, like Hood Champion says, the best fighter doesn't win. It's the boxer who fights the best. And if we don't do our due diligence and get up to speed on these opponents, shit, we could be the fighter who didn't put up the best fight and could end up losing. And I really think if you watch Jaron Boots Ennis, I don't know if he's putting respect on Crawford's name, because I'm going to tell you, after watching his fight this past weekend, I do think Boots needs to get back active. I do. Got to be fair to Boots. To come off of the inactivity, you know, to get a win, you know what I'm saying? But goddamn it, a Venetian was coming off of some inactivity too. I don't care. You could give him credit for that opponent he faced that had like 13 wins and 55 losses. I mean, if you want to give him credit for that, okay. But all I'm saying is, Boots, easy. Hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. You're ready for anybody. That sounds good, Boots. You're supposed to talk like that, champ. And I do think you have everything it takes to fight anybody when the time is right. Because right now ain't the time for you to be barking up the tree for no goddamn Terrence Crawford. You got to get your timing back, man. You know what I'm saying? You still got a lot of ring rust on you, man. You that old Walmart shopping cart that some of these weirdos threw over there in the goddamn local pond, and somebody went out there and found, fishing 5 years later, and then hooked onto the shopping cart and think they got a big ass catfish, and they're making a bunch of noise and everybody getting excited. Get the GoPro, record this. This is the big one. Hey mama, I love you. Just to reel that shit in and see that they got a goddamn rusty old Walmart shopping cart. It doesn't mean that it won't work. Doesn't mean it can't get the job done. But it probably got some rust on it. It's going to take a while to get it back to where it was before it ended up going in that goddamn local pond and getting rusty. And I think Jaron Boots Ennis is that. Hey man, the man is serviceable, but partially mission capable, like the aircraft I used to manage. We need to get that man FMC, fully mission capable, so he can perform all the missions. Right now, I'm telling you, he's not FMC, people. The man is not greened up. He's not fully mission capable. Only some of the systems are cleared. But it's gonna take about a year, in my opinion, for him to get to where he needs to be to get in that ring with Terrence Crawford. I don't care what you say. We know skill for skill, he'll get in there. He got the heart, he'll fight anybody. But goddamn it, it don't matter how much you want to fight somebody, it doesn't mean you're gonna be able to pull it off. And when I think about the talk and the hype, look, it's cool. It sounds good. But for some reason, when I think about Jaron Boots Ennis fighting Terrence Crawford right now, if for some reason somebody fell on the head and put Jaron Boots Ennis in there with Terrence Crawford like in his next fight, I can't help but think about Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm saying? Not really showing the respect I think Crawford deserves, not really respecting the experience and the power. And like, there's something special about Crawford's goddamn hands, people. And for Jaron Boots Ennis to get in there and think he can beat Crawford right now, I'm just telling you, I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm being honest with you. But I do think you let 6 months go by. Matter of fact, you let a year go by, 2 years go by. If Crawford's still fighting, Boots becomes more active. He becomes sharper. He continues to still grow. Crawford becomes older. Maybe he starts to slip a little bit. And then Jaron Boots Ennis has a great chance to put those Philly beans on Crawford. But right now, that ain't it. That ain't it. But you got to give respect to your opponents. Jaron Boots Ennis damn near, he broke the face of Ennis. And I didn't think I heard him say one thing like, we hope he's safe, gets home safe. You know, in this sport, anything can happen. I want to win, but I want everyone to go home safe. Nah, Jaron Boots Ennis, I don't know. I'm paying attention to that, people. You know, you got to understand. I ain't like most of these cats out here, this YouTube boxing shit. I got a different background. I see things through a different lens. You know what I'm saying? And character means a whole lot to Hood Champion. And I got to question Boots Ennis' character. Because I'm trying to think, when has he said anything good about an opponent? When has he said anything good about any of these guys out there in boxing? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying he's supposed to be out here kissing somebody's ass, coming up with shit on his mustache. I'm not saying that. But I'm asking you, when has he said anything complimentary about anyone? His dad don't bullshit. His dad is on point. But I just think that's going to turn fans off when it comes to Jaron Boots Ennis. They're going to turn them off. I really do. But anyway, man, bottom line, Terrence Crawford. This guy, Terrence Crawford's about to fight people. I'll tell you what, I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe after Crawford gets through Madrimov, maybe he go fight Gotdamn Jaron. Maybe he go and get some of that Chinese power. You know what I'm saying? They could have a fish fry. They could have fried rice, General Tso's chicken, collard greens, sweet potatoes. Hell, I may even get involved and curry some goddamn goat for him. We can have a shindig. Because that may be what it takes for people to put respect on Terrence Crawford's name. Because this shit he got coming up against Madrimov, I'm telling y'all right now, all these Crawford fans, listen, hold your horses. Hey, look, I rock with Crawford too. And not because he's black. That's dumb. Because that man's a family man. Because he don't drink, he don't smoke, he's not out here in trouble, he's not getting mixed up with the law and dumb shit. He's out there involved with kids' lives, not just his own kids. He's a great role model. That whole thing about, like, as a black man, man, shut up. I ain't never seen nobody black. I see browns. People have brown skin. Some people have tan skin. We all human beings, man. Lose that black talk, white talk. Get out of here with that shit. Yellow talk, red man talk. The hell out of here. Brown talk. We all human beings. So I support Crawford because he's a decent human being. I dislike Tyson Fury as far as what I've seen with him because he doesn't quite seem to be the most decent of human beings with the things that have come out of his mouth. I pay attention to shit like that. But as a family man, Tyson Fury seems to be on point. But that's neither here nor there. Crawford deserves to have respect put on his name. Crawford is going to, in my opinion, being tough with Madrimov, but with his team and the planning and the pre-planning and everything, getting ready for Madrimov, I think Crawford, with that reach, if he stays disciplined, because he's not Shakur Stevenson, he ain't trying to prove a point, I think Crawford wins the fight. But I am going to be watching that shit, just like I told people about Liam Paro fighting Subriel Matias. I was like, y'all need to, I just wouldn't be surprised. And they were like, you were right, Hood. Like, nah, I don't know if I was right. But goddamn it, I know when I see someone who's not trying to lose. And Madrimov is fighting for something different. People, when you got guys growing up with no electricity, man, and them, especially look at Madrimov's story out there coming out of Eastern Europe, man, and leaving his family. Like, you gotta watch that. They did a commercial about Crawford and Madrimov. That shit was really emotional, man. Like, when I watched it, that shit touched me about Crawford and Madrimov, showing them as little kids what they went through. Crawford in particular, his mom, you know, how she was with him, things they had to fight through to get to where they are now. Man, Crawford, that's why, man, I love to hear those stories, because most of these cats who are here fighting, yo, they really come from a struggle, man. Jaron Boots Ennis, solid fighter, but I don't know if he come from that struggle like Crawford, from that struggle like Madrimov. I don't know, and as a result, I'm just not so sure. When shit get real thick in there, I'm not so sure what happens to Jaron Boots Ennis, because right now everything seemed to be pretty sweet for him. You know what I'm saying? He got Eddie Hearn. He got himself like another big ass chain around his neck, looking crazy. Got a little bit of money. Philadelphia, people love him. He hasn't really fought stiff opposition yet. So shit looking good, feeling good, smelling good, tasting good. And he's not going to have stiff opposition in his next fight if he's fighting Stanley Eunice. And Stanley Eunice can scrap. But Stanley Eunice, he got hit too much cartridge. He didn't look good in his last fight. Mario Barrios, he didn't look good in his last fight. So I'm not so sure Boots Ennis is going to get any stiff competition if he goes into a unification next. But by the time he does step up in stiff competition, I don't know, man. They may be saying Jaron Boots Ennis is a hype job like Deontay Wilder, which I don't agree with. But let's see what happens. But I just think for him right now to be not giving fighters credit and not at least saying something positive about him, everybody, for the most part, I see most fighters, they're pretty fair. When they talk about Jaron Boots Ennis, they're pretty fair to him. They'll say, hey, he passes the eye test, but he hasn't really fought anyone yet. But from what we see, he looked like he's next up. That's more than fair. You ask Jaron Boots Ennis to say something, he won't say nothing. He ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah, he's straight. You know, I fight anyone. Yeah, I'm straight. I mean. Yeah, we know what you mean, and you're gonna know what I mean if somehow Eddie Hearn bumps his head and tries to put you in there with Crawford within the next, not the next fight, but maybe the fight after that. So especially if Crawford gets past Marjamov, you're going to know what hood champion means. Put respect on these guys' names. Shit isn't as sweet as what you think it is, Jaron. But best of luck to him. Best of luck to everybody. I'm in the breeze.